moment longer. There we go, we've got more coming in. Lovely. All good. Well, I know that everybody is tight for time, so I think we'll make a start. Kia ora, everyone. My name is Faye Johnson, and I'm with the team at Grow, joined by my lovely colleague Fiona, who is right here, and of course the wonderful Jenny Oliver, who is our presenter today, talking about the lightning process. And we are just delighted to be offering these free webinars as part of Mental Health Awareness Week. And I know that you are going to find this workshop fascinating, and it really is life-changing stuff. So I know that you're going to get so much from it. I would like to start with a karakia, and then we have a very, very quick interactive thing that we'll do. But the karakia. Kia hongia tiako, kia tika, kia pono, ka whai, ka tutaki, ki eke panuku, tahi, hui ea, taiki ea. And this is saying, for learning to work, for truth and honesty to prevail, for work to be achieved and achieved well, together. This is our commitment. And a whakatoki, nā te roro, nā takororo, ka ora ai te iwi. And this is saying, with your food basket and my food basket, the people will thrive. And that's really about connectedness. And I think it's a lovely way to start this afternoon's session. So what we're going to do is very quickly, I'm going to ask you all to unmute yourself. Everybody who's here, please reach forward, unmute yourself. I invite you all to stand up. It only takes a moment, I promise. Just stand up.
Sorry, darling. Sorry.
Wonderful, thank you. And then Jenny, what are we doing?
Everyone all together, just say, hi everyone, welcome to the lightning process.
Hi everyone.
Welcome to the lightning process.
Hi everyone, welcome to the lightning process.
What's a recent movie? Stay standing. What's a recent movie that you've all seen recently? Let's say it all together.
Top Gun.
One,
Gun.
Bit of a mixture there. And while we're still standing, put one hand up on your shoulder and just slowly bring it down. Very calming. And then other arm up onto the other shoulder, just bringing it down. And at any time, you can always just, it's very all right, let's come and let's get started. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Right, okay. So welcome everyone. This is kia ora. This is such a wonderful opportunity, and thank you to Grow for putting this on. And I'm sure you may have tuned into Suzanne's session. We've got a few more coming this week as well, which is lovely. So let's get started. There's 3 parts to this little wee talk this afternoon. And one is a little bit about what is the lightning process, because some people might not know it all. The second bit is how and why we can get stuck. And the most important bit that I would really love to be presenting to you today is what you do with this and how you take this into your real life and real scenarios and situations. So let's go for it. So this used to be, not anymore. This used to be me. Absolutely round and around and around and around and around and stuck in a loop. And then this happened. This is our daughter, Evangeline. She was Evie back then, and fell into chronic fatigue syndrome and anxiety, depression, POTS, you name it, she had it. And then someone told us via text, a friend, hey, have you heard of the lightning process training? And I said, no, what is it? She said, I don't know, but I'm standing next to someone who's done it and they're well. And so we sold the car and went off to the course because I had given up work to look after her full time. And then not long after, she was back on the stage doing her thing, which was really exciting and amazing. So what is it? Well, essentially, it was designed by Phil Parker 22 years ago, when he injured himself and cut a nerve by going through a caravan window. And he, with some specialist help, worked out how to get not that nerve working, obviously, because it's gone, but to get the others working, to get movement back. So to use other nerves to get it working, which is incredible. Then he started looking at people, noticing that some people weren't kicking in their onboard healing systems. So it became a little bit of a passion. And before he knew it, he had come up with this wonderful, wonderful process. Written a book about it. This book down here, Get the Life You Love, is the lightning process in a book. And of course, it's really about why people get stuck into these patterns and how we can change them. And essentially, lightning process celebrates the human capacity to repair and refresh and flip back into healing, which is what we're designed to do. There are over 25,000 people who have completed the lightning process, and their families have all been affected as well. I've taken over 460 people through the lightning process with amazing success. So it's a very special, wonderful process out there as an option for people. Why is it so valuable? It brings people back to what they want to be doing. So instead of winding around there, stuck in the pit, it's about looking at ways that we can kick in those, recode that brain and therefore affect our body. Well, here's a little story. These are processionary caterpillars, and they usually on trees are connected to each other. So a famous French naturalist, Jean-Henri Fabry, he decided to do a little experiment and put them on the rim of a flower pot, and just to see what would happen. And so they went around and around and around the flower pot. There was food there. There was water there, but they were just continuing almost, in one direction, going around and around without breaking the chain. And so in the end, after a few days, actually, he just gently broke the chain and they went off to eat and to drink. And so an interesting question for you. Are there any areas in your life where you are going around, where you might be like the processionary caterpillars and not getting traction on moving forward? So just have a wee think of these processionary caterpillars. Why do we do this? Because people are looking for solutions, and we can sometimes fall into a find and fix kind of, but there are solutions out there. And with LP, we know that recovery is possible. I see it every week, and it's very humbling and very beautiful. It's an evidence-based option. We have, that is, if anyone wants to do a QR code, that will take you through into the international website, which has got loads and loads and loads pages of research. But also with lightning process ourselves, we've got a randomized controlled trial, which showed significant positive changes in the 100 people who did that, were in that study, and no serious side effects. There were also some other studies pertaining to lightning process too. So we're very proud that we are out there in the arena, and research is happening all the time. Phil Parker is a lecturer and a researcher, and his team are also involved in research, which is fantastic. We're also in a few New Zealand Herald. If you look up stuff.co, lightning process, that'll pop up. David Doig, says that 12 out of 12 people who, this is a few years ago now, he has referred to the lightning process, 11 out of those 12 made really great change. So that's fantastic. And he says the proof is in people getting well. And he says, I don't like withholding things that work. So that's in the article. And Professor Bruce Owell, who is our medical director at Auckland University, both of these beautiful men are really supporting LP and have achieved, completed it themselves. Very quickly, we're going to go through some of this, the basics of lightning process and what it's, the scientific principles behind it. So essentially, we're getting back in charge of systems within you that you already own. You already have them, which is amazing. They're yours. So psychoneuroimmunology, or more accurately, psychoendoneuroimmunology, first worked by Dr. Ada, which is looking at the way that the thinking mind and your incredible brain and how it affects our body. So the influence that they're all having on each other. And it's like systems. If you think about the back of an old grandfather clock and all the little clocks, systems are all turning. Well, it's getting back in touch with that. How does it all work together? Because we know that the brain can affect our neurology. Think of blushing. Think of when you really want to go to the toilet, or when things are happening in us physically. It starts with our brain, or we're hungry. We know that that's already happening. And our beautiful vagus nerve, which starts at the base of our brain and goes down our spine, well, 90% of information goes back up as well. And the vagus nerve comes all the way through us and in through the face. It's a bundle of nerves, more accurately. So number one is psychoneuroimmunology. Number two is the physical emergency response. And you know that by the fight and flight response. This is beautiful Ursula, who was not able to live a life that she wanted to live because of a brain injury and all the fatigue and everything that followed. And now Ursula is a science writer, back living, working, flourishing. It's really exciting. So you know that this fight and flight and freeze as well, but the physical emergency response, it goes straight to the limb muscles. It's really interesting when I say to all the children I work with, and where do you feel it? And where do you feel it? And they go down their legs, and they can feel the adrenaline and noradrenaline, adrenaline and cortisol, and too much dopamine and all of these chemicals that we own rushing through our bloodstream. And of course, it changes all these parts in us. Everything, every system gets affected. And really, in 6 seconds, we've already got 50% dissipating into our bloodstream. So it's meant to be for physical things. But what are our stressors today? We've got emotional stressors, biological, like bugs. We've got physical, where you've hurt yourself. And we've got chemical, human-made chemical, and of course, our own endogenous chemistry. So we've got a lot going on these days. It's not just about the tiger in the room anymore. But of course, this drains energy away from all the other systems. That beautiful thinking mind, we've got a limbic brain, and we've got a thinking mind, and the prefrontal cortex is very, very busy. So there is just not enough energy to run that. So got to keep the heart going and the lungs going first, and the limbs going like a little marathon every day. Drains energy from digestive system. Most people who come to LP are, foggy brain, or digestive system isn't functioning well, and they've been here and there separated, whereas LP gathers everything together so we don't miss out on any system. Of course, you can't sleep if there's happening. And of course, the immune system gets a little bit stuck, very stuck. It's no time for healing. Thirdly is neuroplasticity, the ability of our neural pathways to change. Very powerful. You may have read Norman Doidge or heard of Norman Doidge. He talks a lot in his books about all the studies around this. But the more we use a pathway, the stronger and faster it becomes. The more we use a pathway, the stronger and faster it becomes. So all of you, just without turning on your unmuting, just say your cell phone number in your head. And now say it backwards. And notice how it's a little bit clunky. Well, congratulations, you just created a new neural pathway. And yes, at first it is really clunky and it does seem really strange. If I asked you to do that 10 times, it would flow. And here comes the message, oh, backwards, and it's over here. And then the neurology, the neural pathways move closer together and adapt themselves to run your cell phone number backwards. So essentially, it's what we're doing. We are changing your neurological tracks, which will change what happens in you physically and other areas of you. Look at this beautiful picture of neurology at work. Newborn through to a 5-year-old. And children's neurology is wide open. When they're about 12, they start to prune. Neuroplasticity is always on. So given time, as I've just bought a ticket with Robbie Williams yesterday. Neuroplasticity is always on. So given time and practice, of course, your nerve pathways will always change. Get to know your nervous system. The first thing I do with children is teach them. You have a beautiful, lovely little amygdala up here. She's about this, or he's about this size. That's all. And instead of her protecting you, protect, danger, threat, I say, wait, everything's fine. I'm good. Thanks for the message. And this is what I do want. So we're calming her down. And if you think about your beautiful nervous system, think of it like 2 parts. You've got your sympathetic nervous system, autonomic nervous system. You've got the sympathetic one, which is very reactionary, very busy. Heart rate goes up, blood pressure. Whew. And then you've got your parasympathetic nervous system. And this is nurturing, your 2 parts, nurturing, nourishing, resting, digesting, repairing, beautiful, lovely, calming. And then you've also got this little bit. And this is called the dorsal vagal. And it tucks away in there. It's our lovely one when you're just going off to sleep or you're staring out across the beach. Beautiful. We also know it's where grief and trauma sit. And it can be like a bear hidden away, hibernating in the cave. So really importantly, that there's, in Lightning Process, we really look at all of these lovely ones so that they are protecting and connecting like beautiful harmonies in a choir. So we're all talking and sharing together. And Lightning Process teaches you how to regulate that nervous system to stay in that beautiful parasympathetic more sustainably. We want to put the right information in. And then fourthly, we look at our beliefs because our beliefs are something that we do and they can show up as truths. We see that beautifully in placebo and nocebo, where people get change, or the brain changes, even though there's nothing in the tablet. It's inert, it's empty, if you like. Fascinating how people can lose their hair and yet there is nothing in the tablet. So we know that something's going on in the brain. The brain expects it, it thinks it's fact. And it will look for evidence to support that. Oh, yeah, did it? Brain's already there in a millisecond. So we teach you how to keep the beliefs you love, of course, and change the ones that might be keeping you stuck. I know and I trust and I believe that I'm taking a pause to sustain my calm and energy in any moment, any time, any place. One of my clients, Leanne, created that and it has it in a prominent place so she remembers. Right, let's just pause because I've been blah, blah, blahing. Your brain can only hold 7 things in at one time. So most of what I just said went pshunk. And luckily there is a recording, so you might like to go back over some of that stuff. All right. the brain hears and puts its attention on every word that you say. So this is quite relevant because often we're talking about how we're feeling, and the power of our words affect our neurology, the way that our neural pathways, our neurotransmitters work. So what states, sadness, frustration, irritation, excitement, joy, harmony, peacefulness, calm, what are we inviting in by our language? It tends to be quite passive. I feel, I have, I struggle, that makes me, I don't know, try. It can even be, I'm like this because I am. And what this does is it limits us, because it's where there's nothing you can do about it. It's just the way it is. And it's unchangeable, non-responsive, and quite difficult. So that's not very useful at all. We need to change it to be more active, because essentially you're doing it. You're doing the thinking. It's your nervous system running the messages. It's running the systems. Heart rate's your heart, it's your blood, it's your vascular system, it's your blood pressure, it's your organs. And so they are very, very active. If you think about saying, I have arthritis versus I'm running a process, an inflammatory process, which is actually the body knows how to repair and reset from in my joints. Or I have anxiety and depression, which actually it's a process whereby we are doing the thinking, the heart rate, the sweaty palms, body temperature. It's quite a physical response that we get. Absolutely not all in your head. No way. Also, what we find is that people can fall into an identity and almost unintentionally and unconsciously reproduce that, no matter where, no matter when, because of my ... I can't. And it can become part of the environment and who they are. Labels can do the same thing. Labels are fantastic and wonderful, and we need them, absolutely, but not across here. It's really important and valuable if we take that label, look at the structure of it, and then know that that's our beautiful, incredible, wonderful wiring. It's who and how we are, and embrace that and celebrate that and give it all you got, and learn how to enhance and use your potential given the wonderful wiring or situation or scenario within you that's there. All of these would take a lot longer. This would normally take me all morning to say. Where are you? Yeah, what you're doing it. Your beautiful nervous system is doing it. So at first, you're going to notice a shift. You're going to notice something. And you'll notice it. At first, I notice it. So if I'm doing non-energy, perhaps, and I'm noticing that, perhaps I can learn how to do energy. And an enlightening process will teach you how to do that, how to notice it. If I'm doing non-calm, what if I can learn how to do calm? Because if my brain can do non-calm, it can do calm equally. Instead of pain, comfort, and ease. And to check in with yourself through the day. Where am I? What is the best state for me to be in right now? Right now, I'm doing a lot of talking. So it's focus and energy and clarity, calm. And at any moment, is this working for me? Is this what I'm doing? But is that working for me? And checking in with your tone of voice and what posture, what have you got? And your voice speed. I'm talking very fast. Words, look at these. We know, research shows us that just by seeing the words and hearing the words that we experience it in our body. That's incredible. So if we're using words like struggle, manage, cope with, deal, can't, won't, oh no, should have, could have, didn't. If we take pain It's like fire. Oxygen, heat, and fuel keep that fire going. So similarly, what keeps pain going is all the things surrounding it. And in the enlightening process, we need to unlearn all that stuff and learn new pathways to turn off that message. It's a message. Thank you for the message, and turning you off now. Look at this pain visual analog rating scale, the severity. What about if comfort was 10 and not comfort was 0, where would you be right now? And let's turn that off and turn on comfort and ease. What about this one? Long COVID or a temporary post-viral illness. Words. What about instead of hard or difficult, this is unfamiliar or different? Take out try, do or do not. There is no try, said Yoda. I'm doing it. To start with, this is not easy. Or to start with, this is unusual. Or to start with, I'm training my brain. And perhaps I can, perhaps I will. What if I do? And given that, who do I want to be and how am I going to do that? So taking out some of these words. Thinking. We do our thinking. If we do a lovely thought, what a beautiful day it is today. Look, I can hear the birds. Oh, no, I've got to go to work. Oh, haven't finished that report. Now, if we don't put a stop on that pretty quickly, you know where it's going to go. So let's bring it back. We have about 48 thoughts a minute. And if you think about the thinking that you're doing, are they kind, encouraging, loving thoughts, or do they keep you winding down? Stop. Keep going this way, or we'll end up with this way. Another thing that our brain gets stuck in, have a look at this picture and see if you can see all the red things. So look for everything in this picture that is red. And just in your head, think about what you noticed that was red. I saw the tomato and the hamburger. That was a first for me on that picture. So tell me what was blue. I didn't ask you to look for blue. So your brain has a very heavy negative bias. If red was your issue or an issue, look what your brain's looking for. It's like this heavy filter all day, looking. There it is. Oh, there it is again. There it is again. And where your attention goes, your energy flows. We call that filtering. Your brain also edits all the time. So you might hear people go, we had a wonderful holiday, but it rained. So how is our language leading us down there? Every word we say, every way that our brain is filtering and expecting. So I'm going to, let's draw a line, take a pause, drop your shoulders. So here are some steps, 5 steps that you can use if you notice your thinking. If you notice your filtering, if your brain is just unconsciously reproducing the same result over and over again, unconsciously, unintentionally, but you're falling into unintentionally depression, anxiety, overwhelm, stuckness, physical issues, loads and loads of pain or fatigue, low self-esteem, perfectionism, any of these, let's just notice it. Notice that thought, notice that feeling. Hello. Mind that gap. There is a 2-second gap between running unconsciously to whoop. So what we do is we just bring it into here. You run 94% unconsciously through the day. So let's just, whoa, mind that gap and jump into your brain and stop. I can't, oh no, I know, stop. So we stop the message going in. So here it is, stop. Now it might not be a stop. It could be Oh, wait a minute. Now, all emotions are appropriate. Not all of them are sustainable, and they're easy to change. And you can't be in this side and this side at the same time. So sometimes let's just pause the pause button. Or maybe it's, wait a minute. We love cricket in our house, and you hear the cricketers go, wait, wait, whoa. And then make a choice. Because you have a choice. Stop that way or this way. Keep doing that or this way. The only way is up. And step across the river. Make that choice. Maybe it's a thank you for the message. Because our body is giving us messages all the time. And get perspective. If you actually look at that, oh, and you step away from it, notice the difference. Because it's all about which way you look. You could look that way, or you could go, hang on, pause and redirect. No distract. We're not distracting the brain. We are training the brain, teaching it to go this way. Let's go this way. And then the brain adapts. Isn't that great? Talking to yourself, self-coaching yourself, and always using your older, wiser you. What if you could? What if you do? Trust your brain and body to do this. If you can do that, you can do anything. I'm with you every step of the way. This is beautiful Amy, now living in Queenstown, actually now, from Cape Reinga to Queenstown. And then, what do you want, says your older, wiser you. Number 4, what do you want? What do you want? Now, we ask that to so many people and they go, I don't want this. So therefore, what do you want? If you don't know, if you haven't got the words, your brain doesn't know. And so therefore, it can't pattern it up and hook it up. So what do you want? Deeply calm, inner peace, comfort and ease, so give your brain that anchor, that wee hook. And now where's your brain going? Oh, look at the lovely panda. So we've gone, whoa, hang on, we're going this way. Oh, well done, good choice. I like that way. You got this. I have. What do you want? I want to be deeply calm like the panda or whatever, just whatever your brain pops up. And then how are you going to do that? Number 5, stop, choose, coach. What do you want? How are you going to do that? Such a beautiful question. How are we going to do that? Well, instead of dipping into the past and the future, and yes, we do in Lightning Process address grief and trauma if that's appropriate, but we calm that nervous system down first, open up that prefrontal cortex, train the brain to go, and then we can look at that. What if you could? Past, future, whoa, what about now? What if you do? What if you are? What about think of a memory? So everyone just think of, and you can close your eyes if that works for you. Think of a really calm, beautiful memory. Whatever pops into your head, and see what you can see and hear what you can hear. Maybe give it a color. And come back to the room. Imagine a future you. This is so much fun. Be the director of your movie. See it, or be here. Here I am in my future me. Ha-ha. And I'm on the beach. And I'm doing my thing and I'm swimming. You can play with this stuff. Timeline, magic carpet. These are all things that we go through, but oh, that's so much fun. Be Aladdin, like Aladdin, go down past, future, have a little look down. What do you see? What did that younger you need more of? What's missing? Give her a hug. Move it. So if you're feeling tight here, or right, notice it. Oh, hello, I see you, I hear you, or I might even feel you, and move it off you. Maybe send it off to Mars, or put it down at your feet, or put it in your back pocket. but move it. Get out of your head, into your body, and then move it if that's appropriate for you. Always flipping. You can change it. So if this is red and hot and big and it feels really prickly, well, what do you want instead of that? Right, let's shrink that down, tiny. Let's turn it into blue, like whatever yours is. You would make up your own, like a beautiful flowing river. Move it, change it. Send it down on a little boat down a river. Put it at the top of that tree. Put it anywhere, but not leaving it in you. Change it. Mute. Take all of the past stuff, put it in your Museum of Personal History, where all the exhibits are behind glass windows. You can always take them out and look at them. But there is a guard on the door. So we put them back in there whenever we need to. Museum of Personal History. Beautiful imagination. Opening up your creativity. How are you going to do it? Here's another one. Just like Mackenzie. Smile. I smile when I wake up in the morning. Every morning I smile. Because my brain reads non-verbal communication first. So it goes, la la. Breathing in for 6 and breathing out through your nose for calm. So breathing in for 6, we could practice that. And we like to do, if you've done the whole LP, and of course there are 5 steps, and sometimes you might just get to 2 and you're back on board, so away you go. And you can do it quickly in your head if you need to. We do it in a movement as well. There is a particular movement that you can do. And then at the end of it, then you breathe, because now your nervous system has come down. So then that beautiful breath opens up. Look around. Look at our beautiful trees, breathing in, breathing out, the billowing wind. My daughter in London found trees that looked like the lungs. Look around for examples of neurological change, of looking for ways that, oh, wow, look at that. The pattern on a leaf, the busy bee for clarity. And look at this tree. It couldn't go into the footpath, so it went and wound neuroplastically. I'm not sure if that's a word, but it sounds in a neuroplastic way into the grass. So even nature is neuroplastic. Look around. What do you see? Here's another one. Look up. Look up. So right now, look up. What do you see? If you're near a window, look out the window. What do you see? So instantly we've come out of, and we're out here. How are you going to do that? What do you want? And how are you going to do that? Lovely. Stand outside and walk 7 steps. The brain can hold 7 things in at one time, give or take 2. 7 favorite foods, 7 family members, 7 holiday destinations, 7 things you do with $1 million. Doesn't matter. Just fill it up with 7 somethings. Music. So have a listen to this. The difference between this. And listen to the lyrics as well. If you need to turn your sound up, you might need to do that.
Familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. The tears are filling up their glasses, no expression.
Notice the mood. What's the mood? What are the lyrics?
In my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kind of funny. I find it
Yeah,
kinda
sad. Thank you, Charlene. Depressing. Yes, it is. It is peaceful, true. But what is it telling our brain? What about this one? What is our brain hearing? Peaceful, sure. And Are we this way or are we this way? Fitness class. True. Live life boldly. Grab a fistful of sunshine. Get the sunshine on you. We're not going through the mud. We've seen the sun will shine up the next day. Come up the next day. Fantastic. Okay. And you'll have your own songs that you would like to use as well. So what music are you listening to? What lyrics are you hearing? What books are you reading? What TV programs do you watch? What conversations do you have? What words are floating through the language that may be keeping you stuck? Just notice them. Laugh, dance, and sing. Top 3 state changes: laughing, dancing, and singing. What does this one want you to do? There's a natural ability in our motor cortex to want to move. And the other thing that the brain does is, for some of you, that will be hooking to memories. And so now where is our brain? And how is that feeding through into our nervous system, our heart? Yeah? It's not adrenaline and noradrenaline. It could be if you're out with friends, but your blood vessels, your vascular system is wide open. It's linked to happiness and joy. Lucky I'm not getting you all up dancing. New Year's Eve is coming. Every great day has laughter in its heart, and music changes the dance. Come up with your own metaphor. How do you want to see life? Here are some of clients' ones. It's Kelsey wanting to be on the right pathway, the right track. What wave are you? Are you surfing your waves? You might fall off, but you've got a leg rope. Climb back on again, look for another one, and away you go. This is one of my ones. I do have a few, but this is one of mine. You know, there's always going to be boulders in our life. There's always going to be those chapters in our story that are there. It's part of the humanity of us. It's part of our humanness. And sure, we feel, absolutely. And some of those are quite old. Look at the moss on there. And we can get stuck in the eddy. And if you've ever been in a kayak, you get stuck and the LP is like the paddle where you push away from the side, get back in the flow, back in the flow. So come up with your picture and a wee phrase. How are we going to do that? Stop, choose. Well done. You got this. You're amazing. Keep going. Thanks. What do you want? I want like a. How are you going to do that? Back in the flow. You might just go straight into it. Oh, back in the flow. What about coming up with some really beautiful phrases and Pinterest boards? I do a lovely moving forward board if anyone would like a copy of that. Have a read of that. I love what this person did, changing the language on her window. So she wants more of comfort, energy, calm, ease. And so she says to herself, her older, wiser coach her, what do you want? What do you want instead? To be relaxed and confident around. On the course, we give lots of state words for people. Look at this beautiful one. Oh, do you know what I just breathed? My brain read the words and it went mind, brain, body connection. This was what my daughter, when we got back from the lightning process, the next day we got out the barbecue. The yellow duck reminds her that we are built to be in buoyancy and homeostasis, that our body is always working for us to keep us going up. It sends us messages, message. Sometimes it's danger, 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 threat, threat, threat. That's our little, I was going to call her Amy. I call her Amy. The amygdala. And so sometimes what's keeping our duck down? Is it our words? Is it our language? Is it our thinking? Is it our editing? What's our filtering system? What does our brain expect is going to happen? It just thinks it's fact. Have we changed that? What's our belief? Do you believe you can be well again and recover and reset? Absolutely. And we burnt everything, all the paraphernalia to do with her thing. And we called it the thing, and we haven't used that word. Some people draw little, create little objects, create symbols to symbolize a metaphor moving on. Here's some lovely coach words that my other daughter did. The beautiful Laurel Judd. This is up for an award in Australia. And my practice name is Monarch Life. So just stop all the not useful stuff. Stepping on, moving on. Look around, take some pictures, get up early. Where possible, when possible, do everything with joy. Keep an eye out for whose circle are you in. This is you. This is everything that you think and say and do and believe and perceive and expect. And you're influential over that. And that's them. That's everything they think and say and do and believe and perceive and expect. And they are influential over that. And the other circle, it is what it is. That's everything we have no control over, no influence over. The traffic jam, the past, it is what it is. So coming back, when you notice that you're doing some stuff, noticing that you're in your pit, let's just pause for a moment. Whose circle am I in? And I can only be responsible for this one. So how am I going to respond to them? They're doing that, and I'm noticing this, and I'm going to choose to change state. What does that look like? What does it sound like? It is what it is, circle. It is what it is. Okay. The power of stepping away and pausing or stopping and choosing how are you going to respond. If you are doing non-energy, then you can train that brain and step into energy. Just teach your brain to do that. It doesn't know that you want it. It thinks you want something else. So in lightning process, you are actively involved. And that's what people love, because finally at 3 a.m. in the morning, they can do an LP and they can get back in, get back on board. That have a choice. Now I have a choice. It is a choice. Once you have developed the skill and trained your brain and practiced it, very quickly and always flipping, you can change your neurology and therefore change your physiology and move on in a new and different and exciting way. Errol's got a job, 2 jobs actually, which she would not have been able to do before, and a bike. So it's very exciting for him. People do get well. I'm moving on just because we'll just play a little bit of this.
Hi, I'm
You may need
Gemma.
to turn your sound up.
I'm 21 years old and I did the lightning process back in July 2020, and today I'm just going to talk a little bit about my experience with the lightning process in hopes of this reaching anyone who's interested in taking the course and feels like this might benefit their life in any way. Before I did the lightning process, I was experiencing chronic fatigue. It severely limited my ability to fully participate in life and keep up with my peers, and really affected me for about the next 5 years of my life. Some of the symptoms I experienced were mental and physical tiredness, which didn't improve no matter how much rest or sleep I had, chronic infections, a weakened immune system, digestive illnesses, the list went on really. I found myself unable to attend school and university a lot of the time, and found myself isolating socially because I couldn't physically keep up with the physical demands of daytime and nighttime activities, and this was having a massive hold on my life. After meeting Jenny and completing the lightning process, I was able to gain control back of my life, and I am now physically and mentally strong enough to live the life that I want to live. I am a really social and active person and have been able to engage in life 100% since completing the lightning process. I have been on heli skiing adventures, weekends away, hikes, water skied, and I got back to the gym for the first time in years, which is a really awesome achievement for me. And I have health and I have energy, and I was able to stick with and believe in the lightning process because of Jenny. She is such an amazing coach, even though she doesn't like to be referred to as a coach, and I honestly couldn't have done it without her. This is way more than just a job to her, and she is always available for encouragement and support and stays in contact with you far beyond the course if you need it. If there is anyone watching this considering doing the lightning process, I would say that if you are experiencing long-term physical or mental patterns that are limiting your life, to go ahead and do it, because it is possible to change the patterns that your body and mind have adjusted to. And I can't imagine my life now before doing the lightning process. It was the best investment I ever made in myself, and I gained a lifelong friend in doing so. That's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope this has helped someone out there and given you just a little bit of insight on someone's personal journey with the course. Bye!
Gemma is now an influencer on Instagram. She has the most beautiful clothes. She just looks stunning and gorgeous. So tomorrow, take a fresh look at your day. Take that, put that smile on, and only you can make you happy. It's you. So 5 steps. When you notice that you're doing something, is it overwhelm? Is it remember, it's unconsciously and automatically running that pattern. So we need to go in there and go, whoa, stop. I'm choosing this way. Well done. That was a good decision. Get your older, wiser you encouraging you. Kindness, kindness, kindness. It's okay. We're on track now. I'm with you. I'm never leaving you. So lovely to hear that. Thank you. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Right now, what do you want? Hook that brain in. How are you going to do that? And hopefully you've written down all those beautiful examples. And at the very least, you can just go into a beautiful memory, and you can do this really short, quickly. You can do little pearls throughout the day, gems throughout the day, or pearls throughout the day. So by the time you get into bed at night, you are right where you need to be, and all your dreaming and all your body is calm. Everything gets back on track. So are you in a chrysalis? And is it time to come out? Because the body knows how to heal and repair and reset. Because if we keep going this way, the body doesn't get back into that parasympathetic nervous system, calm, restorative rest, beautiful digestion, because you're so far away from resetting. It gets triggered all the time. It's time to fly. Anchors are so beautiful and part of this. My daughter even got a tattoo on her leg. I'm not sure if Dad was too keen about that. Were you, Dad? But I love it. It's beautiful because her life opened up in a whole new way. So this is Evangeline now. Very beautiful. This is Miriama, chronic pain, hospital, Starship. Back on track. Hector and Beckett, back on track. Hoani, totally back on track. Okay, helping all sorts of people. So there's Facebook and Instagram, Monarch Life NZ, and my phone number if you want to take anything. And thank you, ta-da! We have not got much time for questions, but does anyone have a pressing question? And we do have 5 minutes.
So feel free to, you can raise your hand So along the bottom bar of your screen, you've got your reactions button, and you can raise a hand there if there's something you would like to ask Jenny. No pressing questions at this stage? We've had lots of great comments come through in the chat. Oh, the cold hands bit. What did you mean?
Oh yes, cold hands, you're right.
Yes.
So beautiful. Just go to the bathroom, run, or anywhere, the kitchen, and run your wrists under cold water. Just instantly calms the nervous system. Or just before bed at night, you can run your feet, just put your feet in and put the cold shower hose onto your feet, and it instantly calms your nervous system down. There's lots of little things. Just dropping your shoulders starts to calm the nervous system down. Looking up, all of those. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Anything else? Oh,
And any other questions coming through?
so just
No, I think
just before we round up, just to go over those 5 steps again. If you are noticing that you're running something, notice it first, because it's your thinking and it's your beautiful amygdala and it's your hippocampus and it's your bits, it's your brain and it's your nervous system, it's your blood system, it's yours. So when you notice it, just stop or pause and redirect. 2, 3, talk kindly to yourself, train yourself. If you were like me, I did not know how to talk kindly to myself at all. So it was great to have some words. And then what do you want? What's that like? And how are you going to do that? Take yourself back to a beautiful memory, etc. Wonderful.
We have had one quick question come in.
Oh,
how long will a healing process typically take with people? I mean, I know that's a little bit like, how long's the piece of string? But in your experience?
Well, everyone's on the train. Even just signing up, people begin to change. Even just the call I have with people before the course begins change. And then when you come, it's 3 half days, and it's always in a beautiful home, and it's lovely, and there's always fluffy dogs around, and it's an enjoyable fun. We don't share in the group or talk about that stuff. We're straight into changing that brain. And so people can change, will begin to notice change day 1. They begin to notice even more change day 2, day 3. Everyone's on the train. Some people at the front of the carriage, and some people are further back. But because I hang in with you for 6 months and longer if you want, you keep being boosted and encouraged. I'm always going to be the net. I'll keep you going. And I'll know what's keeping that duck down. Oh, absolutely. So yeah, it can be beautifully, amazingly. Oh, there's a question. Jo.
Hi there. Not a paid endorsement here, but my daughter has attended Jenny's course, and she was paralysed after COVID, and she within 3 days was off crutches, and she now she taps into Jenny whenever she needs to. And as a result of what she went through, I became very overwhelmed. So I use the lightning process just on a daily basis and can't speak more highly for this. So thank you, Jenny. But please, this isn't a paid endorsement. She's phenomenal. And the course is amazing for you and your support people that are around you.
Thank you, Jo.
Thank you, Jojo. That was lovely. Thank you. And I'm popping into the chat now the link to Jenny's website. And of course, we will be sharing that with everybody at the end of the sessions. So all good, all good. Well, here we are at 2:30. Gosh, the time has whizzed by. Thank you so much, Jenny. Love your passion, love your knowledge, and love the way you shared it through this presentation today. A real eye-opener, I'm sure, for so many. And that's reflected in the comments that we've had come through in the chat throughout the session. Just wonderful. So thank you, thank you. Thanks again,
Thank you,
Fiona. And I'd like to close with the karakia now. Onehia, 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 ki te oro tapanui. Kia waitia, kia mama. Te nakahau, te tiana, te waira, I ara, tai kata. Kia tena, tena. Huia ea, tai ki ea. And this is saying, draw on the supreme sacredness to clear the heart, to clear and free the heart, the body and the spirit of mankind. Draw us together, affirm, going forward. And I think that's a really positive, great close to our awesome session as part of the Mental Health Awareness Week. Again, thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you all so much for your participation and being here today. It's been great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Ngā mihi nui.